If you've seen any of my videos before, you probably picked up on the fact that I'm extremely ADD. Wait, what were we talking about again? Binaural audio has been one of the most effective tools in my toolkit for me to help alleviate some of my concerns, but also to really tap into a level of productivity and flow state that I wouldn't otherwise accomplish. So if you want to learn more about that and the power of using binaural, plus what the heck it is, stick around. I'm going to explain it to you in today's video. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Make sure you guys like this video, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications before we get started. My name is CMH. I'm the founder of StartupU. StartupU is an interactive learning platform for online business owners. Okay, let's talk about it. What's binaural? What the heck is binaural? It sounds like a spaceship. Binaural audio, it is basically comprised of conflicting frequencies. You have one frequency at a certain hertz and another at a different hertz. The difference between those two creates an auditory illusion. That illusion is what you hear, right? And so what that does is you can actually have various frequencies that are effectively meant to create a brainwave state. So you have a spectrum, right, of brainwave states. And I'm gonna explain what all this means, so just hang tight. But yet at the very, very top, you have gamma. Gamma is like problem solving, like you're really just into something, or you're really like at a heightened state, right? Then you have beta. Beta is more of just an active brainwave state. Maybe it's when you're working and really, focused on what it is that you're actively doing. Go one step down, and now you're to alpha. Alpha is more of like a neutral state, beginning to kind of seep into more of a meditative state. Beta is like really like more of where you would say a flow state, like very creative space, meditative space, so on and so forth. Then you have delta. Delta is like what's going to comprise of your deep sleep zone, effectively. So here's the deal. We enter into these states normally and naturally on our own. Now, your environment will dictate how easy that is for you to tap into those various spaces. Using binaural just helps you tap into it more seamlessly. It's like just having intention, using a tool around getting to those spaces easier and more seamlessly. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of anecdotes around binaural, and there's a lot of controversy around the topic as a whole. So I'm going to tell you what my experience has been. Just know that if you Google, are binaural beats for real, you're going to find a ton of controversy. You're going to find some studies that showed that it lowered anxiety, depression, increased focus, and so on and so forth. And then you're going to find others where they actually tested brainwaves and couldn't see any discernible difference. Now, here's the deal. I would argue that A, you need to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications. But I'd also argue this. Some of the studies that I read online to really discern and figure out, like, is this real, is this not, or just to see what the actual science of it was saying, they were very short studies, right? So it was like after 30 minutes of use or an hour of use, or even in some cases, maybe a week to 2 weeks. That's really not enough to get a true assessment of, is this working or is this not? That's like taking a supplement and then 5 minutes later being like, okay, did this help your body? We have no idea. That's way too soon to be able to draw any kind of meaningful data. So I think there's a little bit of flaws in the study, but there's enough power and enough anecdotes of people saying that's helped them, myself included, to suggest that there's something there that you should it's worthy of your pursuit. It's worthy of you trying it out, right? Some of the examples, and I mentioned this before, but I want to get into some of the benefits of what it claims to help you accomplish from a health standpoint. I'll let you decide if you experience this or not. Reduce anxiety, increase focus and concentration, lower stress, increase relaxation, foster positive moods, promote creativity, help manage pain. So I've experienced, realistically, and I don't think this is placebo, right? I really truly don't, because I didn't know these before I started using binaural. I did it solely for one, which was my increase of focus. What I came to find was absolutely reduced my anxiety. It just felt better when I used that. So I'm going to show you an app that I use I think is really going to help you, and I want you to try it out for yourself. There are plenty of YouTube videos out there with different binaural. They have sound layered over them, and some of them are hours and hours and hours long. A quick pro tip would be, and this is not productivity related, but something that you may want to try out, is binaural is fantastic for helping enter into deeper states of sleep. So if you're having an issue with deep sleep and you wear some kind of biometric device like I do, which measures deep sleep for me, this is a Garmin Vivo Smart 4, if you use a device like that and you're showing that you're not getting enough deep sleep, you're not feeling refreshed, you're feeling like you're just kind of, I'm getting sleep, but it feels really like light sleep. If you listen to binaural, and this maybe be the proof of all you need to discern if it's actually going to be helpful for you or not, I can almost guarantee you, if you don't watch TV, you wear blue light blocking glasses before you go to bed, at least for 2 hours prior to going to bed, and you listen to binaural audio in a deep, in more of a delta wave range, I think what you're going to find is you're going to have some of the best sleep that you've ever had. Now, there's other things in play. You can't drink a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock at night and then say, well, the binaural doesn't work, bro. I tried it. Like, you have to be realistic and put yourself in the best case scenario. This is not a miracle worker, but if you're doing everything else right and there's not serious underlying health issues, I'm almost confident that you're going to see a significant uptick in your deep sleep. I felt one. I was getting about an hour. When I did binaural, I was getting about 2 to 2.5 hours, which is a crazy amount of deep sleep for what you actually need. So something you can try out. So here's how it works. This is what you're going to do. I recommend getting any pair of, it doesn't have to be expensive. These are the Bose 700s. These are very expensive headphones. Your headphones could be very cheap. Like, it doesn't have to be something outrageous. It can just be a pair. My first pair I used binaural. I think they weren't even wireless. I had to plug them in like I was like 1980s. I plugged in my computer and I just popped them on. So what you're gonna do is pop, so you can't hear anything. Now, the reason this is important is this. Binaural won't work the way it's supposed to unless you can have those two different frequencies in each ear, right? So I'm gonna take this off because it's really weird talking to you guys with those on, with noise canceling headphones on.
A snake bites
my lunch.
barking dogs.
So if you don't have that on and you're just hearing those frequencies, it's not the full effect. Like, I've done float therapy. I just did a video on float. You can check that out here. And they use binaural. It's actually pumped into the pod while you're there. The problem is that you're not getting that equal ear distribution of those frequencies to be able to hear that audio illusion to the degree that you would otherwise, like with noise canceling headphones. The other thing is, if they're not noise canceling, you're gonna be picking up other sounds, and I've just found that I can't get fully into it. So that's the first thing. So you're gonna put these on. Now, what you'll find is, as you listen, and you may experience this, and if you do it long enough, you'll absolutely experience this. It's gonna feel like your heart like shifted to your head. That sounds so ridiculous, I know. Like, I'm not like a crazy like woo-woo spiritual type person. I'm not. I don't consider. I'm very open-minded. But one of the things that you'll notice is you'll start feeling like a pulsate, like in your brain. I have no idea why. I'm not skilled enough in this to know that that's what's happening. But I've noticed that if I listen to like classical music or something more relaxing, meditative music, I'm not able to create that same effect. But if I use binaural, I do. So there's something happening for sure that I fully can't explain, and I definitely know there's some validity to it because of that alone. But what you'll do is you'll put these on, and you're going to turn on your audio file, whatever that is. So it could be a YouTube video, like I mentioned. There's literally millions up there. They could be 8, 12, 14 hours long. Or what you can do if you want to use your own music and not be listening to spiritual music all day, which is nothing wrong with that. You can download this app. So I'm going to show you guys what this app looks like, because I found it to be really, really cool, because I can lay it on top of music that I actually want to listen to. So this app is actually called Binaural, and it's on the Apple store. You can just download it. I don't know about Google Play. Sorry, you'll have to check that out. So what you'll do is you're just going to hit play. And then what you can do is you can slide your scale, right? So you can go all the way up to gamma, you can drop into beta, you can go alpha, theta, delta, right? So that's amazing, because you can actually dictate where you want it to be on your own, and it's simple. Like, this is a very seamless app. I think it's fantastic. Now, something really important if you want to layer on your own music and not just listen to crazy binaural all day. Again, I feel like a weirdo talking with headphones on. What you want to do, though, is you'll be able to go to your settings widget here, and then go to the actual settings there, and then you'll say mix with other apps. You want to turn that on. You can also log into your health, and it'll track like your meditative, practice and stuff like that. You can also include that if you want them tracking your data. If you don't, then just leave it off. So the reason this is powerful about using it with other apps is once you turn that on, I can then go to my Spotify, for example, and I'm turning on this is just some channel that I found that I really like. Now, here's the deal. I can hear the binaural on the back of the music that I'm already listening to. You're going to get the benefit of it with music that you actually want to listen to. So if you don't like the stuff that people come with on YouTube, fine, you don't need it. You can just listen into it on your own, and you could have that on all day long, no problem at all. So something I highly recommend, definitely check that app out. One of the things I think you're going to find is this, and this is one of the things that I really, really experienced, is that when I put these on, right, when I come up in my office and I just pop these on, even if I have music on in my room, when I pop the headphones on, noise canceling, being a person that's extremely ADD, pop those on, turn on binaural, there is a discernible difference. I can absolutely tell. I don't have the proof. I don't measure my own brainwaves in my room to be able to tell you if it's actually happening, but I know it's different. Those are some of the most productive days that I have, where I feel like I'm really in a flow state. Look, if it only made a 1% increase, it's worth it, right? If it's only moving the needle just a tad, it's worth trying it out. So here's what I would recommend you do. Try it out. Download the app. Go to YouTube, get a pair of $20, $30 noise canceling headphones, pop them on, see if it helps you. I think one of the biggest things that's a problem with our world, and I just interviewed Rian Doris. He actually is involved with the Flow Institute. It's on my podcast. You can check it out. The link is included below. And he talked about one of the biggest issues that we have in our modern world, one of the biggest disruptors of flow state, which is more of that theta range, creativity, productivity, what have you. He said that we are almost 300% more productive when we're in flow state. But the biggest disruptor to flow is technology. It's bings and booms and distractions all over the place. So the reason I like this is that we're using technology to our benefit. We're using technology to help us tap into a deeper state. By putting these on, you can just kind of feel like you're out on your own and there's nothing that's bothering you. You're not hearing noises or neighbors or anything, or email dings and phones and text messages and stuff like that. You're able to just really lock in. And if for no other reason, whether you believe in binaural or you don't believe in binaural, if for no other reason, being able to just be in that zone for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, you're going to get more done. Think about that 300% increase in productivity. I hope this answers your questions about binaural. I hope my story helps you out a little bit as far as being somebody that's extremely ADD and how this has benefited me. I hope you give it a shot. It's 100% free. You can find tons of free resources all over the web. So I hope you do indeed try it out for yourself. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. We are ending this productivity series, and next we're going to talk about starting a podcast. So make sure you guys are ready for that series, and I will see you in the next one.